Welcome to Splash Talk, and today we're going to talk about the chokehold that was seen all around the world.
To the Edwards, working on Wiggins, little step back three, and so we're scoreless. We'll stay 0-0 the first 2 minutes, and then look at Klay Thompson and McDaniels. What is going on with that? Wow. You've got a full-on fracas going on.
So if you were watching NBA earlier today, you would have seen the Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors game, and as soon as that game started, 2 minutes into the game, no points were even scored, there was already an altercation. This altercation started with Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels. Klay Thompson was guarding him at the three-point line, and he actually stuck his hand towards his neck as he was trying to keep him from going for a rebound. When he did this, Jaden McDaniels took exception to the fact that he hit him up near the neck. So as they started to run down the court to head the opposite direction, because the Timberwolves now rebounded the ball, Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels got into more physical altercation. Jaden McDaniels now grabbed Klay by his jersey, and when he did so, he ended up snatching his jersey and ripping it. And once that happened, it started to make the fight even bigger. So both teams started coming into the scuffle between the two of them. And once this happened, it was just an all-out brawl. Because now, Rudy Gobert comes in trying to stop the altercation. Once he comes in, he grabs Klay around the chest and the neck area. And when he does this, Draymond Green thinks that he's trying to choke him out. So Draymond Green comes running in. He snatches Rudy Gobert, 7'1", 7'2", big behind up, puts him in a headlock, and he makes sure he gets the arm underneath him and wraps it around and locks it in. When he does this, all craziness breaks loose. So everybody's on the court now. They're all trying to get in the mix, figure out what's going on, try to separate people, and it just goes really wild. And to think that they were only 2 minutes into the game, so there was really no heated exchange that was done before this, nothing leading up to this altercation. But a lot of people are mad at Draymond Green because he has a history of being the enforcer, the tough guy on the court when it comes to his team. This is a time when he comes, jumps in, even when the situation wasn't involving him because it was Klay Thompson. And you know, they have history of being teammates for over 10 years. So you got to understand, this is kind of like a brother to him. So he was having his back during this altercation. You never know what can happen from here. But Jaden McDaniels, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green were all thrown out of the game. I'll be curious to see whether or not these guys end up getting fined, if Draymond gets suspended, if they hand out a suspension to anybody else that was involved in the altercation as well. But yeah, it was a crazy night in basketball, to say the least. A lot of people on Twitter started to chime in about this situation as it was going viral because Draymond Green was such an enforcer in this situation. And even legends like Paul Pierce said, I respect what Draymond brings to the game. Don't change for nobody. Respect that. F what everybody says about you. Former NFL player said, I wonder when Draymond will mature past unnecessary fights. It's as if he's trying to prove his toughness when no one has ever questioned it. Gobert was just trying to break up the scuffle, and here comes big bad Draymond. Another person said Draymond Green should be suspended. This is the type of behavior the NBA should be punishing, not players flexing after a poster dunk. Chris Paul even chimed in on it. He said,
if you watch our games, hell, I used to play against him all the time, so you constantly hold Steph and Klay so they can't come off ball screens. So they can't come off down screens and stuff like that. So, you know, coach had told Klay before the game, like, get him off of you. You know what I mean? Probably not to that extent, but it was good to see that energy and that fire. You know, unfortunately, it was 2 ejections, but.
And even Rudy Gobert, he said every time that Steph doesn't play, he doesn't want to play without his guy Steph, so he does anything he can to get ejected. Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, even said,
there's no way Klay Thompson should have been thrown out of the game. I mean, he's running up the floor, and the guy grabs his jersey, and he's pulling on him, and so Klay pulls back, and no way Klay should have been ejected. That was ridiculous. So I was upset about that. And then the Draymond piece of it, if you watch the replay, Rudy had his hands on Klay's neck, and that's why Draymond went after Rudy. And I saw one replay right after it happened. Guys on the back of the bench were telling us that Rudy had Draymond or had Klay, and that's why Draymond went at Rudy. So that's all I know.
So Steve Kerr believes that Draymond was responding to the act that Klay Thompson was actually being grabbed around his neck by Rudy Gobert, and that invoked the action from Draymond Green to come in and, get involved in this situation and actually put a chokehold on Rudy Gobert. Kendrick Perkins even said, this dude, Draymond, really just put Rudy in a damn chokehold. God bless America. I'm the type that I think some of this is good for the game of NBA because I oftentimes feel like the NBA has gotten a little soft as far as the calls, the way that they treat some of these things that happen on the courts. I believe that sometimes a good fight actually makes the game more exciting. Yes, you want to have boundaries. Yes, you want to have limits as far as what can and can't happen. When it comes to a teammate and you having their back, there's not too many people that won't do whatever it takes to take care of their teammate. Draymond definitely made sure he was involved. Steph Curry was actually ruled out of the game with knee soreness, so he wasn't involved in any of this altercation. And the craziness is because Klay Thompson and Draymond Green were both involved in this altercation, this team didn't have their top 3 players. They had Chris Paul plus all the bench guys to try and beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Minnesota actually beat Golden State 104-101 in the second of their in-season tournament games. So the NBA actually installed this new in-season tournament to make more playoff intensity in the games because 82 games can get a little bit long in the tooth. Some people get tired of watching after a while. They brought this new in-season tournament to make the NBA season a lot more fun and exciting, give the guys more incentive to play hard. Well, they got what they want. What do you guys think? Is Draymond in the wrong? Could he have done things differently? What's your opinion on how he handled the situation and also the others that were involved in the situation? Was Rudy Gobert wrong for getting in the mix and grabbing Klay Thompson around the neck? My opinion, Rudy Gobert didn't do anything wrong. Draymond, he came on a little bit too strong because it didn't call for choking the man out. And when he put him in the chokehold, he could have actually let him go. But he decided that he wanted to really lock it in and really attempt to choke this man out. Kind of silly stuff. It's to be expected. Draymond's done things like this in the past. I hope that the NBA does not suspend him for too long. He's a player that keeps the game exciting, and I enjoy watching the way that he does some of these antics. I miss some of that from the old NBA style that we used to see back in the day. Having the top scorers out for the Golden State Warriors actually allowed Brandon Podziemski to step up and be the leading scorer for the Golden State Warriors. He had 22 points in this game, in a game that he probably wouldn't have got these minutes if this whole situation didn't happen. Kudos to him. The rookie was able to ball out. After the game, in the pool report, it says the reasons why these players were ejected. The question was asked, why did you land on the decision to eject Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels as opposed to giving them double technicals? Both players were involved in an altercation that didn't immediately dissolve, and their actions warranted an ejection. Why was Draymond Green assessed a flagrant 2? He aggressively put Gobert in a headlock and refuses to let go. This is unnecessary and excessive conduct, which meets the standard for flagrant foul penalty 2. Was there consideration to giving extra discipline to Rudy Gobert for his part or anyone else involved besides Draymond Green? Gobert was attempting to separate Thompson and McDaniels and was ruled to be a peacemaker. We reviewed all other players and acts and no other unsportsmanlike activities were observed. So that's a breakdown of the reasons as to why they handed out the punishment that they handed out. Seems like Draymond Green's probably going to get some suspensions because they felt like his actions were not necessary and over the top. And Gobert even called it clown-ish, saying that this was clown behavior, and he knew that Draymond would possibly act in this way, knowing that he was not having his right-hand man, Steph Curry, in the game. What do you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next episode. Leave a little splash in the comments.